we all get very excited about a good snow day, but there's more to it. Why do we need to be mindful about what happens during winter weather?
Obviously, we love it because schools are canceled and businesses are closed and people get to go outside and play. But we got to be mindful because, snow can be paralyzing. If you're out on the road, you can get stuck. There's lots of other implications. It's not always just fun. Plus, emergency officials are always out on the roads and they need to be safe as well.
Absolutely. And we hear about illnesses that are associated. So we hear a lot about frostbite and hypothermia. Stephen, what are the differences between those? And then are there other kind of illnesses we need to look for as people are outside?
Absolutely. So when we think of hypothermia, that's when the body is starting to reach really, really cold temperatures. That's where we're going to start seeing a lot of shivering, a lot of shaking. We need to get those individuals warm as fast as possible. But when we reach frostbite, that is a more severe level of cold-related illness. That's when the parts of the body are starting to go numb. They might start getting a little waxy, and that is at reaching critical stages of cold-related illness. Now, the key thing to remember with both of those is that we have to get those individuals warm as soon as possible.
Okay, now what about for being prepared? Say we're in the car, Matt, I know you've talked about this before, people who get stranded during this winter weather. Are there things we need to keep in our cars in order to be able to help prevent any of those things from happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we think of emergency kits, it's important to, one, always remember the essentials. Food and water, making sure that we have enough water. 1 gallon per person per day is the standard, both within the home and, if you can, in your vehicle. Always have some non-perishable foods, maybe a radio with some batteries, flashlights. But when we think of winter weather preparedness, especially in the cars, there are a few additional items you might want to have.
All right, so what are we packing in the trunk?
So you want to make sure, one, you have those additional layers of clothing, because if you are outside and you get wet, you need to take off those wet clothes and put on dry clothes. So have an additional pair of hats, gloves, shirts, pants, what have you. You also want to make sure you have a window scraper, making sure you have maybe even a portable shovel to be able to move snow out the way if you get stuck in any way, shape, or form. Also, making sure that your fuel is at its capacity. You want to make sure that your fuel lines are able to not freeze, so if you know that we're going to be having severe weather or low temps, fill up your fuel line the night before.
This is going to be great because I am one of those people, I'm a parent, so my car is always filled with all of the snacks, all of the extra clothing. This is where everyone's like, your car is messy. No, it's not. You're saying I'm very prepared for what's going to happen.
Absolutely. If you're planning and you're making sure you have those additional, once again, preparedness is a very subjective term. It's all based on the needs of the individual. So if you have in your car, in your house, the items that your family needs, that you need to survive in winter weather, then you are doing the right thing. Having those jumper cables, having those clothings, having that window scraper, that portable shovel, those are all those necessities to keep you and your family safe.
And Matt, you've mentioned before too that it's not just when that snowstorm happens or that rainstorm happens, there's also residual effects afterwards?
There can be, right? So you get a system come through, it can get really cold behind it. There are some different effects there. It was just about 5 years ago, if we all remember, I-95 from D.C. through Fredericksburg completely shut down, thousands of cars stuck, and some places, some of the people did not have those preparedness kits, and you can't keep your car running the entire time because now you're worried about carbon monoxide leaking into the car. So it's the blankets, as you mentioned, the clothes to stay warm because you just never know what can happen.
Yeah, what else do we need to keep in mind for this time of year?
Making sure you have a plan. In the event that something does happen, how are you going to communicate with your loved ones? How are you going to be able to take care of your loved ones in the event of an emergency, and then sharing that with them? But also the most important thing is being able to get the information. How are you keeping informed? Staying in tune to your local officials, your local meteorologists, to make sure that you are knowing what's coming down as far as weather goes, so that way you can prepare accordingly.
Well, we're lucky we have Matt Dinardo and your team here, the Storm Tracker A-Team, to keep us in the loop on what's going on. These have been great tips. Thank you both so much. Lots of things to think about. Do not wait, as we hear often. Don't wait until the emergency happens. Make sure you are prepared ahead of time. You can get more winter preparedness and emergency tips anytime with vdh.virginia.gov and your latest weather updates right here on ABC8 with Chief Meteorologist Matt Dinardo, and the podcast happening. It's called Beyond Weather on the WRIC Plus app. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.